All right, Mike, stand by.
Okay.
And then you.
Beaver County is sponsored by and content is provided by St. Barnabas. The show airs every Thursday from 11 to 11:30 on WBBP, WMBA, 99.3 FM, and Facebook Live. Now, with no further ado, let's welcome host Mike Romai to introduce today's program.
Welcome to the Best of Beaver County radio show on the St. Barnabas Radio Network. St. Barnabas has been caring for people since 1900. Today in Allegheny, Beaver, and Butler counties, we offer a full continuum of care for our residents and patients. And this includes luxurious retirement living, personalized living assistance, and hands-on skilled care in our nursing center. Additionally, the St. Barnabas Medical Center offers the following health services in the community and our residents: a full dentistry, home health and home care, hospice care, and palliative care. As a leader in the healthcare industry, St. Barnabas continues to be focused on the needs of our community and our residents now and in the future. Bearing witness to its founder's reminder, God is able, men and women are invited to join St. in caring, healing, and teaching as St. Barnabas continues to offer trusted healthcare services to both its residents and the community. Speaking of a trusted member of the community, we are excited to be joined today by Marie Tampano, the Executive Director of the Cornerstone of Beaver County. Good morning, Marie.
Good morning, Mike.
It's good to see you once again.
I'm a little awestruck looking at the new setup here and hearing all of what St. Barnabas does. I mean, I already knew it was an incredible organization, but just hearing that is phenomenal.
Now, as you look around these walls, can you recommend any kind of photographs or anything like that?
Well, you need a picture of the hoot owls, I would say.
The picture of the hoot owls, okay.
You have one. I don't know where it's at.
Okay, it's probably in Frank's office.
Oh, yeah, right. He likes to keep that close.
Right. Why don't you bring a drum set in the next time?
I would love that.
You come in. Yeah, because we can do that for you.
This is just incredible.
I mean, you haven't seen the rest of the building.
I haven't, but it's just incredible. Yeah, congratulations to the station and to all of you.
Well, good for you.
Phenomenal.
Well, we knew that you were renovating a facility over in Vanport, and we didn't want you to get ahead of us there.
Yeah, so. We didn't.
But the Cornerstone of Beaver County, you, in the last 6 weeks, opened the new facility in Vanport.
We did.
A homeless men's shelter. Tell us about it.
We did, and what an incredible journey it has been for us. We feel so fortunate and so humbled. But, yeah, we were about 2.5 years in the making of opening the first 24-hour men's shelter in the county, and we did open officially on June the 12th. We had a ribbon cutting on June the 5th. We had a lot of great folks come out and support us.
Saw the crowd.
We appreciate it. Yeah, it was a nice crowd. Lots of folks come out, and we opened to shelter guests on the 12th, and we have been rocking and rolling since then.
Mm-hmm. Has it been all you imagined it would be?
Yes. I mean, we're ramping up. We have all new staff. It's a new endeavor for us, and so we're trying to take this in little steps so that we can ensure the well-being not only of the staff and the guests, but in the community, making sure that we're testing some new processes out and warming up to it. And so it's we're gradually growing into our space here.
Now, if you just turn your head a little bit to the left, a little bit more. I want the audience to be able to see your blue hair because you're on. The angle is different, so you have to look that direction. It matches your shirt so well. The Cornerstone of Beaver County. So there you go.
I thought that was a good idea before my daughter, Isabella, just graduated from Hopewell. I was just telling Mike, she and I just went on a mother-daughter trip for 8 days. And before I went, my hairstylist was like, let's try something sassy, something spicy. And I was like, it sounded like a good idea at the time, Mike.
Yeah, well, what did your daughter think of it?
My daughter likes it.
Oh, good. Well, that's all that matters.
Bella's my best judge. This morning I have her check my outfit, make sure I'm okay.
Because if she says, Mom, I'm not going anywhere with you looking like that.
Yeah, well, she tests me out. Mom, if I did this, would you still? And so we have this little game that goes between us. So I don't know. Hopefully she's approved.
Yeah. How did you first get involved in this kind of work in community service and dealing with the homeless population?
Well, Mike, I grew up in Pulaski Homes. I actually have a new tattoo on my back that says
Pulaski Homes?
Pulaski Homes. It's a public housing community.
Well, you want to show that to the audience?
Well, no. I don't. Okay. Come on, Mike. I have to be employed after this. And so, I grew up, my dad died when I was a kid. And long story short, my mom raised 4 of us in Pulaski on her own. strong lady. But I learned a lot about the stigma of people in poverty, of immigrants. My father was an immigrant. And so my passion was always for helping those who feel they don't have a voice, and make sure they had a voice. That was strengthened in 1996 when I lost my oldest brother, Michael, to a drug overdose. At the time he was homeless. He was sort of couch surfing in California. Sadly, Michael passed away at the age of 35 on the floor of a friend from a drug overdose. And the way that we became aware of it was a call from a coroner from a number found in my brother's pocket. That pain. Michael was a beautiful man, a smart man. I always thought my siblings are so much smarter and talented. He was very articulate, an artist, he could draw. Anyway, that pain and the way that his passing was treated really stayed with me.
Yeah.
And so my career has always been in housing and service to communities like mine and kids like me. And so housing and homelessness has been a passion. But when Michael passed away, I knew that ensuring that folks have access to safe and affordable housing and trying to, in any way I can, make sure no family has to suffer through what we did became a part of my mission.
It has been said that we are, no matter how old we get, we are the same people we were at 10 years old. And
I agree with that.
Mentally, I mean,
The experience that you had, that you talk about growing up in Pulaski, of single mother, and knowing the, I guess, the culture around us, and oftentimes people can be cruel.
Absolutely.
In those respects. So in the back of your mind, you still have memories of those days. And not only that your mother was a great provider and raised 4 children on her own, but that the stigma that goes
Yes.
along with it sticks with you.
Yeah, and I became a social worker, but I remember social workers in the 70s and things, and no disrespect, it was a different time, but it was a really different, you definitely felt less than in those experiences. And I even remember going to the store with your food stamps. It used to look like Monopoly money.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah, it was not a comfortable situation. And so my mission and my purpose has always been to help folks. We all can end up in tough times, but to help folks never feel that feeling.
It's crazy because society doesn't realize that aspect of it, how it affects kids. When we talk about food stamps, and now they have the cards,
Yeah.
the access cards, and school lunch program where now, they don't have to pull off tickets to
Right.
identify them as such. People don't realize, and they'll often say, the majority of, I think, the population says, well, why are we doing for them? Why do we need to have free lunch? Why do we need to have free breakfast? Why do they need welfare? There's lots of jobs out there. What about this homeless? Why is there homeless? There's a lot of jobs to be had.
what is it that they don't understand?
Well, there's a lot of circumstances. We have a gentleman who was a guest at the shelter who ended up having a medical situation. And he was gainfully employed, living in his own home, but as a result of an accident, he lost everything, and he ended up with us. And so people say, well, what does homelessness look like? It looks like a lot of things. It looks like the elderly. It looks like single moms with kids. It looks like working men. It looks like people with substance use and or mental health disorder. Any of us. I'm a breast cancer survivor, so I know that your life can change on a dime. A medical situation like that could wipe a family out. I was fortunate. I had a job. I had income. But some folks don't.
No.
It could happen to any of us. And Beaver County has really received us well. And I want to be sure to make sure that message is clear, that we appreciate the welcoming and the support, the volunteers, and all of the support that the Cornerstone of Beaver County has received, not only in this project, but all along.
And you just can't, I know where you were, and you still have the office in Beaver Falls.
We do.
But I know the struggles that you've had in trying to get a homeless men's shelter. We have the women's shelter in Beaver County.
Right.
We didn't have a homeless men's shelter.
Correct.
So not only, the obstacles that you had to overcome, going to the different community leaders and say, we'd like you to work with us on this. People didn't necessarily want a homeless men's shelter in their communities, but also the cost of doing so. So you got a lot of help from the Beaver County Commissioners.
Well, we sure did. And we, the former Crossroads Men's Shelter, again, I always want to give credit to those individuals. They operated out of Beaver Falls, an overnight 7 to 7 kind of situation. When they lost their location in 2019 into 2020, They tried desperately to find another space, and they were unable to do so. That was right before the pandemic hit. You know, we saw the pandemic happen, shelter in place. You got folks who can't shelter. It was a really tough situation for the community to respond to. We were using hotels and motels, out-of-county shelters, et cetera. Very, very costly at that time. The commissioners and the Community Development Corporation and our COC coordinator, Dina Cipitone, morning manager, what was then director, Lisa Signor, who had the infinite wisdom to say, we have to do something. And so they put out the RFP, the request for proposals, and along with the commissioners, and we responded to that. The initial resources that came in through COVID that were applied to this creating the solution were unfortunately not enough to reach the goal, because it is costly to build, particularly during the pandemic when costs went up and supply chain issues were happening. Long story short, they were supportive, the commissioners, the county community development, to bring additional resources to the table to allow us to rehab and build the building in Vanport Township, because as you said, there are a lot of municipalities where the zoning does not lend itself to this, and so Vanport Township, their commissioners, their community, were so welcoming, and we appreciate it. And that's how we got the building down there, and work with our commissioners and work with other funders who supported the cause and helped us to do what was in excess of $2 million to rehab that building.
That's crazy.
It is
and,
crazy.
And I know just recently, after all that, there was an outreach to the community through social media and said, we need this, we need towels, we need, all these different things that people need on a daily basis.
Yeah, we have a wish list that we have out there on our website. Gloria Betters, who's our volunteer coordinator, is doing a tremendous job. We are borrowing from the ideas of the former Crossroads, where they had churches, civic groups, individuals in the community who supplied dinner for the folks. And so she's filling that calendar. There are folks who are coming in, volunteering, actually working in the facility. There are folks bringing water and hydration types of things. So the community has really responded, and we urge you to stay with us, because we'll continue to need your support.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, is it difficult after you've been doing this for so long to have to pick up the phone and call another person or do another ask in some way and say, I'm sorry I have to do this, but we need.
Is it difficult? No, because I really believe in what we're doing. I see the faces of the people that we're serving. And the community is so receptive. Sometimes I think people might see me coming, but people are really kind and receptive and believe in our journey and in our mission and so on. And so we have been very, very fortunate in that regard. And hopefully folks will continue to stay on the journey with us as we grow and we continue to support those in need in Beaver County.
And a lot of times you try and bring the plight of the homeless to the people. I know you've been in Aliquippa and you've had candlelight vigils.
Yes.
And you continue to do that just so that people recognize or realize this. And there have been years past when it's gotten a lot colder than it did this past winter. And you have to find places, and you talked about going to the hotels in the area and saying, we need a couple beds for the night, can you do that for us?
Yes, and we were fortunate in working with across the county borders with the City Rescue Mission in Lawrence County, Light of Life Mission, and even into Ohio with other communities that have helped us in supporting our population while we didn't have this facility. Certainly the Women's Center in Beaver, they are a tremendous and incredible entity. We work together with them as well. But the hotels and motels have been supportive of us, but it can be quite costly, and it's not ideal if you have a family or something
Sure.
cooped up in a hotel. But we utilized all of those resources, and we were fortunate that the community stayed with us.
Marie Tampano is our guest, Executive Director of the Cornerstone of Beaver County. I'm Mike Romine. This is the Best of Beaver County. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll show you Marie's tattoo. No, we'll continue the conversation about the homeless plight in Beaver County with the Cornerstone of Beaver County.
It's true, it's fresh.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah. All right.
54 was the house number I grew up in, and 21 happens to be my mom's, my daughter's birthday, and the day that my brother passed away.
Let's switch chairs
Okay.
because I want them to see you, not me.
No. Stay
You
where
good?
you, stay where you are.
Far better looking.
That's what I've been trying
I like
to
your-
do. That's why I was moving cameras around. That's why it's blatantly clear that whoever laid this room out has never done this job.
Mhm.
So this is one of your studios. I mean, what is
Yeah,
in the? I'm
yeah, this is the WBVP studio. The WNBA one is right next door.
They didn't give you the tour?
Not yet.
Oh.
I was chatting with Frank a little bit.
Mhm.
He's younger than me. His birthday's not till next month.
I got one more. Oh, no. Where's the long one? There's the long one, okay.
Okay.
One more 30 for the St. Barnabas, the walk coming up.
So what all do you have going on here?
All
I
right.
do the morning show.
I don't see a bumper piece of music for you to come
There's
back to.
usually
Do you
not.
just come back cold?
Yeah.
Okay. Coming in 18 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, I do the morning show, 6:30 to 9, until Eddie, decides that he wants to do the morning show.
I listen to
From the St. Barnabas Broadcast Complex in Brighton Township. See, we get the whole thing now going. It's the St. Barnabas Broadcast Complex.
I mean, it's impressive.
You could get a helicopter to land out there.
You could. All that parking, I was driving around.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
really, really nice. I
When
mean,
we
you
have
guys
car
should be
cruises-
super proud of
When
this.
we have car cruises, they try and fill up all those slots out
I
there.
know, it's nice.
Yeah, we're going to build a swimming pool because it's been getting so hot lately. We think we're going to go to St. Barnabas and say, hey, you know what? We have all this land. Let's
I think
how
you
about
should
a
test that
swimming
out.
pool out there.
You could have a water park out there,
That's
actually.
right.
Why stop at a swimming pool?
Yeah, that's for sure. We're talking with Marie Tampano. She's with the cornerstone of Beaver County
How many years in existence has the
7.
Cornerstone? 7 years?
Yep.
in existence, and the growth has been phenomenal for
It
the
has been,
organization.
and we feel very proud of that, but we also feel kind of sad that the
You
need
have
has
to.
grown. Yeah.
Yeah, and the homeless population takes 7 years ago to today, 2023, grown, or has it shrunk? Have we been meeting the needs?
I mean, I think it ebbs and flows, and we are meeting the needs. There still are some gaps in the situation with regard to individuals who have significant chronic homeless. I mean, those are very tough populations. It's very complex. The nice thing is that the continuum of care, the systems of care, Beaver County Behavioral Health, and others in this community, it's a great collaborative effort. We continue to look at where there are challenges. And one of the end results is of safe and affordable housing. So we continue to look at that and work with developers and others who are looking to build or rehab housing in this community, because we need to continue for an exit, an end landing spot for folks who are coming through the system.
How much of the homeless population, how much homelessness is a result of mental health issues or drug abuse?
Like we see that. We see a good percentage of individuals who are struggling with mental health challenges and substance use. And as a result, we have, as I mentioned, great partnerships with Beaver County Behavioral Health, Beaver County Drug and Alcohol, the Mental Health Association, and others who have been very supportive, because it's more than building a shelter. I mean, you can't place someone in a building and expect all of the issues to be resolved. That allows for individuals to have a safe space to be working with our team and our partner agencies to begin to address the challenges that led them to our door in the first place. And that's why we were so well poised and well positioned, and we are so excited about the programs and services that are coming out of there: education, job training, opportunities, healthcare screenings, mental health screenings, and other supports, space for people and other agencies to come and meet with their clients. It is not going to be resolved by a building. It's going to be resolved by supportive services and opportunities for people to gain the needed support to really stabilize their lives. And that's what I'm most excited about. It's not a warehouse. And if you come to see it, it's a nice facility. It's a place where people can have pride and dignity, but it's a place surrounded by a comprehensive sort of menu of supports and services to evaluate and give people the opportunity to reestablish themselves.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of getting all that under one roof, take us for a walkthrough. I know you've invited us to do that in the past. You actually invited the public to come in and take
Sure
a look
did.
before the grand opening. So when you go in there, what are some of is it a 24/7 type environment?
It is. It's fully staffed. It is a 24/7 environment. It's a secured building, controlled entry, controlled access to the building. It's cameraed. It's at 697 State Avenue in Vanport. The main entrance of the facility is in the rear of the building, and we have staff all day and all night, every day of the week. And we are also answering what used to be the homeless hotline, now comes directly into the shelter. So the staff are there answering phones all day and night, every day of the week. So when you come in, there's an evaluation and a screening process that takes place. The individuals have opportunity to have a bed of their own, a night table and things of that. There's shower facilities, laundry facilities. There is a small workout area, a gym area. There's multi-purpose spaces. There's a kitchen and a dining area. Obviously, staffing, our staff has offices. There's a clinic space for healthcare services to be offered. There's a full classroom. The computers are on order. They're not in yet with computers, where CCBC will be doing some trainings and job training. In partnership with CCBC, we'll be doing some things. There's also a space downstairs for groups to come in and meet, civic groups, church groups, NAAA groups, which has a separate entrance. And then on the other side of the building, there's a community classroom space where we endeavor to have CCBC coming in and offering some community classrooms. So when you come in there, you will see a very alive and dynamic facility. And the reason for that is because the real purpose of this is to provide people the supports, give them the opportunity to take advantage of those supports. We're looking at a 30 to 45-day stay to get people in there, get them processed, and help them find safe and affordable housing.
Do you have to have insurance?
You do not, but when you come in there, that's one of the things we're evaluating for. Mm-hmm. Do you have insurance? Do you need insurance? Other things, food stamps or other services that you may need.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of the turnaround for people, because there's this idea in society that you're homeless because you want to be homeless. You want to live under a bridge, live under a bridge. We try to help them, but they won't help themselves. How do you answer that?
I would say that come down and see what we have going on down there. More than 75% of the individuals in the facility right now are working individuals. And I have to give a shout out to BCTA, Beaver County Transit Authority, and Mary Jo Morandini. We have our bus stop. We have a fixed route down there now, so the guys can get their bus tickets. They can catch the ride into the main center in Rochester, and they're getting to work, and they're able to do the things that they need to do. But I would say to you that the individuals that we have coming in there are seeking assistance, want to help themselves, and we're going to help them. If we have situations where folks aren't wanting to do that, then we would have to help them find other solutions to their challenges.
Yeah, and in terms of the BCTA and Mary Jo, of course, they've been doing great work over the years.
Great work.
But you can't get to a job if you don't have transportation to a job.
Correct. So we're working with the bus. BCTA has been very receptive to that. The Cornerstone also works with the Mental Health Association on a transportation program. We have vehicles. They dispatch through the Mental Health Association, or we can transport our clients right from the Cornerstone. So we have transportation options for individuals as well, because that is a barrier to not only housing but employment as well, and appointments and other things that you need to remain stable.
Yeah, I believe we've talked before about this, but some people will not come to a shelter because they have a pet, and if they go to the shelter, they can't bring the pet, and they don't want to be separated from their pet. That
is true, and so we continue to work in conversation with the Beaver County Humane Society, who have been very receptive as well, and others to try to find solutions to that problem.
You are a network machine.
Well, that's the secret. I mean, I always say to people, I'm not an expert in anything, but what I know what I know, I know what I don't know. And the secret to this is collaboration and connectivity, because it truly takes a village. If you go back to we talked about when I was growing up, it wasn't easy. It took a village to get me where I am, and I'm very proud and very honored and very appreciative of the folks that supported me. It's not going to be answered by anyone. There's no magic bullet here.
Yeah. Has your picture ever been at the post office on the wall? Anything?
Were
you one of those tough kids coming out of Pulaski?
I was a tough kid. I was, but I had a lot of people who I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for some good people.
And still rocking and rolling.
Still rocking and rolling with the Hoot House.
Yeah. Where are you playing next?
We are playing on the 29th in Saxonburg. I think it's called Rumble. It's a car cruise and food truck event. Yeah. And the Hoot House are playing, I think, noon to 2:30. But I want to mention also
but let me ask you this, though, because you're good friends with Frank Sparks. You're both from New Brighton.
We are. Sandy Egley, New Brighton.
Yeah.
Class of 84.
Who else is from New Brighton?
Oh, all kind of people.
Yeah.
Former director of CDP, Lisa Signor, is from New Brighton. Okay. All kind of people are from New Brighton.
It's that New Brighton connection.
It is.
Okay, but why haven't you ever been, and why aren't you on the schedule for future car cruises here with the Hoot House?
Frank?
Well,
talk to Frank.
How come they haven't reached out to you?
I'm going to be honest. He has.
Yeah.
We're trying to connect some schedules.
Oh, okay. You're just too busy. Your band's in demand.
I'm going to be busy on September 9th, too, because the Cornerstone of Beaver County has its annual Party with a Purpose at the VFW in Rochester. A night at the races. Call us up. We got sponsorships available. We got tickets available.
One of your tickets.
There you go, bud.
Let me see. So that's on September 9th, Rochester
9th.
VFW. a place to dance over the years.
Oh, it's such a nice
Rochester
facility.
VFW was always the place.
We love hanging out
Seventh
there.
annual Party with a Purpose, and it's been successful in the past. That's why you keep doing it.
It is. It is. And it funds, it helps to support the programs and services of the Cornerstone, including the men's shelter, which, if you can be there that night, we only have 200 tickets. Please, 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 if you can be there, come out, support us. It's a fun night. Or sponsor.
The Hoot Owls performing there that night? Are they?
We're not.
No, you're not? Okay.
The Hoot Owls aren't getting any respect. What is going on?
I don't know. It seems like you would have connections.
Yeah, you would think,
something
huh?
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's
we're
going on
fun.
there? Night at the racing?
Night at the races, food, raffles, 50-50. It was a fun time last year.
Rochester Smokehouse Barbecue.
Oh, yeah, very good food.
Yeah, cash bar.
Cash
fun
bar,
time.
yeah.
Because, even though I can't pick a horse, I pick my nose better than I pick a horse. And so I never win at these things. But it's fun just being there and holding on to it, and just enjoying the excitement of it all.
It was fun.
And knowing that it goes to a good cause. I asked you a little bit earlier. Let me ask you again, even with the event, the Night at the Races on September 9th, what do you need from the community? How can the community help?
Well, you can stay connected with us. Go to thecornerstonebeaver.org. You can come in, you can volunteer, you can donate to us. We're always accepting cash donations. You can participate in the meal program.
You're a men's shelter. Do you need clothes?
We're having some storage. We're trying to evaluate the storage situation.
Yeah.
That's part of the challenge.
Yeah. Because I remember when I was with the thrift store in Beaver Falls, we'd call and say, "Hey, we have the clothes. You want them?" I said, "We don't have any place to store them."
Right. We do have some storage, and so we have been working to get.
Yeah.
We have had some donations, and we appreciate it. When we've reached out, we have a wish list that you can go to and check out. We needed water and hydration things, towels at one point. Check us out. Stay with us. You can see we keep listing. And Gloria Betters is our volunteer coordinator. You can contact Gloria 724-846-6400 or gbetters at cornerstonebeaver.org.
What happens? How do people find their way to you? Is it the local authorities who pick them up on the streets and bring them to the Cornerstone, or is it families who say,
It's all of that.
Contact you?
It's all of that. It's word of mouth. I mean, we have people coming out of the jail system. We have agencies that reach out to us. The Area Agency on Aging, we work with Linda and her staff over there. We have law enforcement. We have family members, people themselves. It comes from a lot of the medical center, Heritage Valley, sends us people. So it's coming from a lot of directions.
Is it dangerous?
Is it dangerous? No, we have good systems in place. People are struggling, but they've been very, very kind. And we do have good process and procedure in place, including great relationships with law enforcement to keep everybody safe.
You need volunteers.
We do.
Okay. That's always an issue with nonprofits.
It is. But people have responded. I mean, we've had people come out and work shifts. You mentioned the tours that we gave during the week before we officially opened. I was shocked at the number of people that came. We tried to do that before the opening because, again, we want to preserve the dignity of the individuals that are there. But we're still happy to tour folks if they want to come and see the facility. If you're curious, if you want to ask questions, call me. I'm happy to talk to anybody. I'm speaking at a church in Beaver Falls, in fact, this Sunday. I'm happy to come and talk to your organization. However, 724-846-6400. I'm happy to talk to anybody.
And she's got blue hair, blue tips in her hair.
Well, I have blue hair now. In
yeah.
a couple of weeks, I probably won't. I don't know what color it'll
Well, you're
be,
going to
but
have to
it might
go
not.
with something else.
It might not be blue. In the fall, I try for more,
Okay.
autumnal colors, Mike.
Oh, very
You
good.
want to try it? Maybe you can do that with me.
You
got good hair, Mike.
Right, yeah, right. It just
do.
happens to be really gray.
That's lovely.
I've often threatened my wife that I'm going to color my hair.
You should.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. You don't have to do it all.
What do you think, Eddie?
Fuchsia.
Yeah,
Something
fuchsia,
good.
a little.
What about you, Eddie?
Some
You
highlights.
gonna color something over there, buddy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just color my scalp.
Maybe get
It's a paint roller. It's cheaper.
maybe a tattoo on the top of your head. Like, Marie can tell you where she got the tattoo.
That would be so painful.
All right. Thank you, Marie, for being
Thank
with
you.
us.
Thanks to WBVP, and congratulations on your facility.
Thank you very
and,
much. We look forward to seeing the Hoot Owls here at some next or an approaching
We would
car
love that.
cruise.
We
Great.
would love that. Thank you.
Cornerstone of Beaver County. I'm Mike Romide. This is the Best of Beaver County radio show on the St. Barnabas Radio Network. Stay safe. Be well.
Thank you for listening to the Best of Beaver County. St. Barnabas is pleased to have provided content and sponsorship for the program.